Today is December 1st, 2024, and this is our weekly update on the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas and Hezbollah, terrorist organizations on Israel's borders. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Just this morning, there was a ballistic missile fired at Israel from the country of Yemen, from the Houthis there, the terrorist organization there, backed by Iran. Israel has not seen such an attack in quite some time, a few months probably, and that led to azakot, as we call it in Hebrew, sirens going off all around central Israel. Israelis either being woken up or on their way to work, or as we're getting ready for work and school, running to shelters, seeking shelter as a result of this missile being fired. The truth is, it was actually destroyed outside of Israel's space by the Israeli military, but the sirens go off just in case to make sure people are safe, of course. A few people were injured running to shelters, which happens sometimes as people are, in a frenzy, get hysterical once they hear the siren, which is a very intense sound, rightfully so, done on purpose so that people will run to shelters. But unfortunately, it does lead sometimes to people getting injured. But besides that, everyone is fine. Just a reminder that that front with Yemen, with the terrorists in Yemen, is still an open and active one. In other news, the ceasefire that was signed last week with Lebanon between Hezbollah and Israel to stop the fighting, at least temporarily, it is holding. We're a few days into the ceasefire, and there have not been rockets from Hezbollah into Israel. There have been some ceasefire violations. There's many different pieces and parts of the ceasefire agreement. Israel has responded to them as Israel is allowed to respond to them, as is written in the ceasefire agreement. Besides that, though, calm and quiet in the north of Israel, which is a very good sign. And as a result, Israel has lifted restrictions on schools and gatherings in the north that have been in place for a very, very long time, some of them since the beginning of the war, over a year ago. The IDF leader of the Northern Command has even said that rebuilding can begin very soon in the northern communities heavily damaged by the missiles sent into Israel by Hezbollah over the past year. Many of the border communities have been ghost towns this entire year, now going on 14 months. And many of the buildings and homes in those communities damaged or destroyed. So it will take time to return the residents to rebuild their lives, rebuild their infrastructure in order for them to feel safe and secure, returning to their homes and even having a home to return to. Besides that, fighting does continue in Gaza, specifically northern Gaza. Many strongholds that used to be in the hands of Hamas are completely destroyed, have been completely destroyed, but there are still some places, some pockets where there is active fighting, and there is a need for active fighting against Hamas operatives. And Israeli soldiers continue to fight there. Unfortunately, Israeli soldiers are still getting injured, and some even in this past week or weeks have been killed in battle in northern Gaza specifically. Funerals continue to happen, and the country still is in a state of war, even though things have changed and things have gotten better, fortunately. The other very new news is the news actually from Syria, right next to Israel in the north, where rebels, there's been an ongoing civil war there since 2011. For the past many years, it's been very, very quiet, as if it's been finished. It has not technically been done, but been very, very quiet, as if it's been done. And just a day or so ago, rebels came into Aleppo and took over most of the city, including the airport and other very, very important places. And this has renewed fighting there. Fighting hasn't been in Aleppo in many, many years. And the Syrian army is on the defense. They are planning a response. Dozens of Syrian army soldiers were killed there. And all eyes basically are on Aleppo and in Syria to see what will happen there. This might reignite a civil war that has been very, very almost non-existent now for many years, just again without official end. This impacts Israel because it could have long-term negative effects on Israel, depending on which way this fighting goes. In the short term, though, they say this is good for Israel because Hezbollah terrorist operatives who who are on the side of the Syrian government for religious reasons most likely will return to Syria, where they used to fight on the side of the government, and they'll be busy with that fighting, and that will help, most likely, hopefully, the ceasefire to stay intact, the one that we have between Lebanon and Hezbollah. So lots going on. It's a messy Middle East, but this is very, very new news. And again, our eyes are on that to see how that unfolds and see how it will specifically impact Israel. So that's the update for this week. Again, as always, thank you for your prayers, thoughts, and support of Israel, sending our prayers out to the soldiers and to all the families, wishing them well and lots of strength and support during these trying times. Thank you so much. Have a good week and all the best.